Niche, insurance. Result, 50,000 to 300,000 monthly recurring revenue. Time frame, 7 flipping months. Model, ad franchising, UpHex plus high level. What's up, everybody? 7 months ago, Edwin and his partner Colin came on to this very YouTube channel and told us about their business. He felt a little sheepish at the time, saying that he'd only been currently at his $50,000 monthly recurring revenue number. And I remember thinking, that's pretty good. But not knowing what he was aiming at, he is now 7 months later at $300,000 monthly recurring revenue. This case study outlines how he did it, his model, everything. Check it out.
I'm here with my dude, Edwin, the Puerto Rican ad gangster Morales. What's up, buddy?
What's up, bro?
You like the Puerto Rican ad gangster?
Puerto Rico. I just got back from Puerto Rico too. Went to Bad Bunny's concert.
That's fun. You're there in Florida. I know you're close to Puerto Rico, and I saw some of your posts recently. I love that place. It's pretty cool.
I love that place. I love it.
Cool.
I'm just happy I can go back and forth.
Yeah. No, you're close too, right? Obviously. Easy flight.
2 hours. I think 2.5 hours.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's jump right into this. So I'm going to lead with where you're at currently in terms of just monetary stuff, and then we'll dig deeper into it. The whole point of this interview is to, number one, show people not only can you crush it in the agency game, like there's tons of opportunity, but maybe to highlight some of the things that prevent people to scaling to $200,000 a month like you've done. Right. So the cat's out of the bag. That's kind of like 200 grand a month. Tell us a little bit about your agency right now, where you're at revenue wise, and then we'll deconstruct and we'll work backwards towards the result.
Yep. We have been doing what we've been doing for about 3 years, right? Obviously it didn't start at 200,000. We may have hit 50 at year, like 18 months in. Yeah, maybe even longer, right? And after those 18 months, we understood, right? We understood, and we'll talk about it. We understood our client. How can we serve them? How can we do things better? What's, their pain points, our pain points too, right? And how we can, navigate those. And either way, we hit 200,000 in, I think it was May or June of this year, 2025.
Yeah. Awesome.
I mean, we went like 225, I think was May. And ever since then, like we're steadily, and it's scary. Just keep growing. It's insane.
Really?
Oh yeah. We're still, it's dumb.
So it's dumb. I love that. I thought you were at 200 grand. What are you at now?
For September, we're midway. I think we just killing me. I'll tell you right now. Month to date, 147.
So month to date, halfway through. So you might hit 300.
Scary.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, hey. It's ridiculous. Yeah, 147.
Well, so what's funny is we did a case study with you guys. I don't know if it's been a year ago. It's probably about that.
I think so. Yeah.
And I remember you at us talking, and you felt kind of sheepish about being at 50 grand a month.
I know.
God, no. Yeah, I remember. I was like, dude, 50 grand a month is good.
Yeah.
Obviously 300 grand a month is better.
Yeah.
But again, you guys were doing a lot of things right back then, but still, dude, has it been about a year, maybe a year and a half?
Yeah, I think so. Or the last one. You're talking about the last interview?
The last one.
Oh, at least a year and a half. Yeah, at least about a year and a half for sure.
For somebody to go from 50 grand a month, and I remember the feeling, at least I don't remember exactly what you said. I remember you kind of feeling stuck right there.
Oh, like yeah, I remember saying that.
Yeah. So actually, before I say how did you break through, because that kind of like just takes the entire air out of the balloon. Talk to me about when you were at $50,000 a month. What you were struggling with, like what was going on then that you felt like, dude, how am I going to ever break through 50 grand?
Oh yeah, I think if I were to look back, and again, if I remember, I think I was getting stuck with support. right? We were doing so much of support that we weren't able to provide and fulfill, quote unquote, the pain points. So I'm like, why are we doing, what's going on? What's broken, right?
Yeah, it's the constraint.
Yeah, what's broken that so many people are asking me for support?
Yeah.
So, and so we literally sat and said, okay, this is what I keep hearing in terms of support, right? This is what I keep hearing. Okay, how can we answer that? Keep hearing, how can we answer that? I'll keep hearing. And then try to kill those supports before they even get to launch an ad, right? Before
Yeah.
or launch an ad. And now we have it, I know you love that 2-3 step onboarding process all day
Yeah.
long. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
even send them another quote unquote set of onboarding videos 2 to 3 weeks in
Yeah.
to avoid having to jump on a Zoom or a phone call to answer the same thing that everyone keeps asking.
Yeah.
And I think once we implemented that, support went down and I was able to concentrate on scaling.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So your constraint was fulfillment and customer interaction support kind of things.
At that point, yes. Yeah. Because I felt completely overwhelmed with the amount of questions coming at us. And I'm like, why are we getting all these questions? And to your point, right, it also had to do with the quote unquote quality of the ad.
Yeah.
So we literally shifted from what we were doing back then. I mean, we still have a mixture, but what we were doing back then to what we do now, and explaining, that's the other one, explaining, especially with my customers, I have to explain the difference between massive amounts of volume
Yeah.
and actual quality.
Yes.
They think volume is the only thing because they've been fed that by other folks. Okay.
Yeah.
They've been fed volume, but they're like, okay, well, I just got 10 leads and only 5 really mean anything. Well, then you paid for 5. You didn't pay for 10.
Yeah. So let's stop here for just a second because you're having a lot of problems with customer support. Um, how is that showing up like on the daily? What did the daily activities look like to you? And then I want to talk about your lead quality, what you're talking about there just for a second. So
Well, at this point, like today,
no, before.
before, oh my goodness, I was trying to split my day between getting new customers,
Yeah.
support,
Yeah.
creatives, and we help with ad monitoring, right? So we kind of want to make sure that once it's launched, it actually takes off, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So kind of ad monitoring, or a combination of, right? Because that's also support. They would text me and say, hey, dude, I haven't received a lead in 2 days, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You know, all of that, just all of that. And then on top of that, we all know high level is good at all things and not great at one thing. So things break.
Yep.
And it's like trying to fix that on, $50,000 worth of accounts. I mean, it's not like that was a lot. Now it's a lot, but back then I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is insane. How can I keep up?
Yeah.
Um,
And for the audience watching, it's not just you either. You have a partner and you're
I have a
still
partner.
struggling with these things.
Yeah, well, yeah. Back then it was just us two, and then we hired one more person, who his only purpose was support. Like, I just want you to learn support stuff.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
now he runs the company, but
That's awesome.
yeah, the guy loves
That's the best, dude. That's awesome. Okay, so you're sitting there and you've got all these problems with fulfillment. People are reaching out because they're uneducated. There's probably a lot of things inside of the product that you have, so they're like, "What about this and what about that?"
Yeah.
Right? And
So
you
I'm trying to
decide,
fix and trying to onboard at the same time.
yeah. Okay.
But go
So
ahead, man.
you just systemized it more and you broke things down. Is that kind of what you did?
Exactly. You have to break things down. It
Yes.
hurts. It sucks. Go through the suck because you have to be truthful with yourself. And I was like, okay. I love what you told me like 6 months ago too. I'll come to that. But um, I forgot what I was going to tell you because I just got so excited. Oh man. But yeah, you have to break down your systems, right? And your systems is okay. What does my client do day one? What does my client do day two? What does my day three look like? What does my first onboarding look like? What support questions am I getting so many of that I can answer before they even ask me?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And what's funny about that is a lot of so we have leading causes and then lagging causes or sources and symptoms. A lot of these problems are problems because we create them.
Yeah.
Like we train our customers to be bad customers in many cases.
Yeah.
We're saying, oh, we're going to have you set up in one day,
Yeah.
or oh, we're going to have you like we make these promises or these expectations, or we allow expectations from others to bleed into our company. So if another company said, well, we do this and we offer that, and then when they come in with that narrative, you don't reset and set a proper frame, then you're left with these things that you don't understand,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And
I
so,
did that so much, Sam.
yeah,
So
yeah,
much, right?
yeah,
I don't even look at I stopped looking at it. At around the time that we interviewed, I stopped looking at competition because I'm like, they're doing that. Why are we not?
yeah,
They're doing that. Why are we not? They're gonna cancel us, go over there. No, they're not. but it was killing me inside, right? I'm like, dude, look at what these guys are doing, and how come we're not doing that? And it's the
yeah,
wrong mindset. It's no. It
yeah.
didn't
Most
work
of your
for me.
competition has no idea what they're doing.
No. And it's like why do they even have space in my head? That's the other one, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
no way.
that's right. All right, so you were dealing with all that. You built systems and you started like breaking things down, giving customers proper expectations. How did you scale from $50,000 a month to now 300 grand a month? Because you're going to have to keep clients in order to make that happen. And then you have to have a rad acquisition funnel. So talk to me about how that transformation happened.
That was part of that breakdown, right? I kept telling my partner at the time, or he's still my partner, but at that time, he's the only one I talked to. I'm like, God, people are coming in, but just because I have 10 people coming in and 9 leaving, that sucks.
You can't scale that. Yeah.
It's over. Like you get,
Yeah.
you're working for nothing, right? But, um, my partner said it, and truthfully, I wanted to ignore it at first, right? He goes, dude, we got to get them selling. We literally have to make them money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And oh man, bro, it used to get me so angry because I would be like, dude, like, that is not our job at first, right? I was like, that's not my job. My job is to get them leads. What they do with the leads, it's up to them,
Yeah.
you know. But
Yep.
I literally had to change that mindset. I was like, okay, let's see, and that's when quality of the lead came into play.
So
Right.
so you talked about that earlier. So let's break that down. What did you guys specifically do before and when you talk about quality lead after? Talk to
Okay,
me
perfect.
about how you broke
Okay,
through that.
absolutely. So again, right, my customer is really into the volume thing, and they
Yes.
love $5 leads, right? Let's just put a number on it, right?
Yep.
$5 leads. And
Yep.
I explain to them, right, when they come in, I'm gonna explain to them, okay, this is what a $5 lead looks like, and this is how hard you have to work for this $5 lead. In fact, you might not even close the $5 lead after working so hard.
Yeah.
But here's a $10 lead, right? And you should see
Yeah.
the price. Like, oh my gosh, I got to pay $10 for that lead. It's like, yeah, you got to pay $10 for this lead, but this is how hard you work for this lead. And you may close some of these.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer? You know? So I had to address that with my clients because again, their mindset is I want high quality leads, but I only want to pay for the, the $3. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I had to battle that for a little while. um, and then just say, you know what, if you do want $5 leads, I unfortunately you are not my client.
Perfect.
I have to let them go because then they're going to get mad and they're going to cancel anyway, after all the hard work we do too, you
Yeah.
know. So I was okay with saying no, and I was okay with saying that's not my client. However hard that is in the beginning, everybody's our client, right? But
Yep.
after you want to scale, forget it. You have to start narrowing it down even further. What was
Yep.
the other question you asked me, man?
No, I wanted to just focus in on the way you took effectively a cheaper lead
Oh,
and then turned it into a more qualified lead.
yeah. My w- w- we went from the majority pictures. The funny thing is I was listening to Jacob and he goes, and he said video is going to work a little bit better, so we started making videos, literally.
You test your ad angles with image,
Yep.
set takes, you reformat with video.
Yep. Yep. All day. And even our pictures changed, our copy in the picture has changed, and we still use pictures. Don't get me wrong, we still use them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even that has changed. I'll give you a small example. We used to put starting at $33 a week, right? Whatever number that was.
Yeah.
But the members of Facebook may just see starting at $33. So they're thinking that when they get on the phone, they're buying something for $33.
Not good.
Yeah, that would work beautifully if the person on the other line knew how to pivot, right? Knew how to like sales 101. But it's at this point, I can't train that. I don't want to train sales, but I can fix at least the front end.
Well, it's a lot more fun as a salesperson. If you think of if you think of lead generation and sales as a par four in a golf course, you can go through and put it in a lot more if the ball's already on the green. If you have to start every single hole out at the tee box,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, this took me this long to make this sale. Dude, it's like, no, just send me the ones that are already on the green. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can really advance a lot more. Okay, so you fixed your ads, right? Which, I mean, that is, again, for me as the proprietor of UpHex, I'm always like, dude, you just need, take your ads, okay? Get a bit more educated on what makes them work. And then show a little bit of care on the specificity, the voice, the epiphany, and the offer. And those ads will make you so much more money. But most people spend about 2 minutes on their ads and they're like, oh, this didn't work. The targeting must have been off. It's like, oh, okay, well, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, they took targeting away from us in January.
Yeah. And who cares?
In my industry, they took it away. It's like, okay, we're still going to rock it.
That's right. All right. So how about client? What's your client, without going into too much detail, like what is your client acquisition funnel? Are you doing a one-to-many thing? Are you, how are you?
We had to shift that too, right? Because again, trying to scale, I was at that point at the $50,000 point, even before that, and maybe a little bit after that, we were doing one-on-one demos all day. I mean, all day, one-on-one demos. So now you got, again, trying to get people demo, onboarding, support, and everything else in between. So I took my, my long demo, made it a 16, 18-minute video max with all the major points, no crazy amounts of details, just the major points of what they need to know. And then I shifted into group demos, believe it or not. We shifted into group demos. We do probably, every other day we do 2, and then on Tuesday we do 1. Thursdays
you just run ads to a funnel and they show up kind of.
We run ads right to the demo page. So it's the video, and then underneath the video there is a calendar, but that's the demo calendar. That's that 3 days a week. But yes, you see that video. Wherever we run ads, that they're going to jump to that same exact funnel, right? And it's me in the video, right? It's just like this. I show obviously some of the toys and some of the ads and things like that. That's fine. But when I show up to the demo, they're like, "Holy crap!" Right? They're like, they already seen me, so they're familiar with it, And then at that point, then I'd either dig a little bit further, give them a little bit of refreshers, and just let them ask as many questions as possible.
Wow.
You want to know how I start my demo? You want to know how I start my demo? I mean, I do this now. Back then, I don't do this, and I don't recommend it, right?
Okay.
I literally say, and not my demo, my appointments, right? My group appointments.
Yeah.
And there's times there's like 12 people in there, but I listen, guys, like none of you are my customers. I can't lose you. So I'm going to say things that you ain't going to like. And you guys can ask me things I'm not going to like either, but I'm going to answer them now, because if I don't answer them now, you're going to be pissed off at me in 2 weeks.
That's
That's
actually
it.
a really interesting paradigm shift. I like that, dude.
Like, and then they're like, oh, you should see them laughing and smiling, right? Because now I just broke the ice. Now I'm going to tell you the truth. And I give them that example of, $5 lead, $10 lead. What does it really mean? What does it do? Just everything. So I
So is it conversational? Is it not even like, is it just conversational? Really? What is your
By the
average
time they
deal?
get to me, right? By the time they get to me
Yeah.
to the Zoom, it's all conversation. I may open up like a blank screen so I can show them some math, right? Because it's all visual
Yeah.
as well. What were you gonna ask me?
What was I going to ask you? What's the average group size? Like how many people on average do you think are coming? Because you said you do two.
Yeah, I do 2 on Monday. I would have to check, but I think I do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's probably 5 slots throughout the week, maybe
Okay.
6, right?
Yep.
And the average could be anywhere between 5 and sometimes I get like 12.
Okay. So like 7, 8 people on average.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
7, 8 people times 5 times. So 7 times 5, like 35, 40 people a week.
Every week. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. That is such a cool adaptation of a webinar funnel. Anybody could do that. That is gangster, dude.
And I like to do it live. I really do, because sometimes, right, out of 7 people, I love to interview them too. Say, hey, how long you been in the industry? Hey, how long you been in the industry? We got one that's been there for 10 years, one that just started.
I love that.
Right? So them just talking to each other is insane. And I was, hey, how did you hear me? Oh, dude, like my entire team uses you. So, oh, is that a lot of people? Is that, you know what I mean? But he's like, yeah, dude, you got this guy, this guy. This. So guess what that does to everybody else listening? They're like, holy crap, this guy's team is using Leads for Life, right? Using Edwin. It's just like, I want to do, people want to do what other people do. And not only that, what's working. And he just said it's working by telling other people that he has 10 friends that use me, right? And it's insane.
Dude, I'm doing that.
I love it.
That's one of the coolest adaptations of a webinar funnel that maybe I've heard. I've heard of people doing a lot of really interesting things, including like mini webinars. And honestly, dude, I've kind of done similar things, but I didn't ever repeat them. And they were maybe a little bit more formatted. Like I did one for the niche navigator a while ago, and that did really well. But I did it a second time and it didn't do well. I think it was because it was like, they're like, oh, we already saw this. It was the same people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's really interesting. All right, so we're getting a little bit lengthy here, so I wanted to just come back and say if there was one thing that you could say, hey, if I had known this one thing earlier, I could have gotten to where I'm at a lot faster. There's probably a lot of things, but what would one thing, if you could put your finger on one thing, what do you think you would say?
Oh my gosh, man.
It's a tough question, but I think it's going to be a fun one.
Oh my gosh. I would say be completely obsessive with your craft. But you got to find out what that craft is, right? Because you might have 10. No, 10 is not your craft. Go find 2, right?
Yeah.
And be completely obsessive, whether it's creating, ads, creating a way to get customers, right? Your acquisition funnel, getting really good at your presentation. I think that's huge. Because if you have someone with a check on a forehead ready to buy and your presentation sucks, they're not going to buy.
Yeah.
Right. I think just being completely obsessive of, just your presentation, I think is huge. That's probably my favorite part. And then everything else that falls into that, you still got to be able to dream about it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Be passionate and focused and start focusing on the thing that you're passionate about.
You know, one thing I've always said, in fact, I learned this from one of my mentors from way back. He was in chiropractic. He goes, listen, help people, and the money will come.
Yeah.
That.
Yep. Harry Brown said, ask people what they want to buy them, sell them that thing. And selling at its core is helping people if you
Yes.
do it right.
Shifting risk.
That's right.
That's it.
Dude, you're a gangster. 300 grand a month. If we do this in another year, are you going to be at like $750,000 a month? Who knows?
I don't know, man. But this is what I was going to tell you that you told me like 6 months ago. I think it was, I think we were on a Zoom. You said, find a way to package
Yeah.
what you're doing. And I was like, I don't understand that. But I got off and, Colin was here with me. He goes, we got to dig into that because Sam knows exactly what he's saying. So we did. And I think that helped us alone. Right now it's like, that's another Zoom, but
yeah, well, it's that brain shift. It's that mind shift too. It's like too many agencies, when they think about their business, they think about the processes of their business. And so when they go to create their offers or sell their thing, they sell processes.
Yeah.
Smart agencies think of their business like it's a product, not a process, a product. Yeah. And so when they sell a product, they sell the outcome that the product creates. Exactly. And it seems like delineating between the two is a bit of an exercise. But once you nail it, boy howdy, you scale that thing to the moon. And you have a technique to do that, which I think is awesome. I might come to one of your little calls and just sit like a bird on, like a, what is it? A bird in the window or whatever, fly on the wall, and just watch you do it.
Yeah. Keep exercising though, right? Because exercise, you have to go back to your resources. You return to them. You don't just use them one, you return to them. You knew that page right when you opened the freaking book.
That's right.
How many times have you read the same sentence? You know what I mean? You return to them. I love it.
That's right. Edwin, hey, I appreciate you doing this, buddy. Any final parting words, any words of advice for the people watching?
I don't stop working. Just don't stop. We were just talking about it earlier, I think. And it reminds me of that guy with the axe and he's almost getting to the gold and then you just stop. Who cares if you're tired? Just freaking keep going. Just keep going. Yeah. You'll get that breakthrough. That's what it's called, a breakthrough.
That's why they call it breakthrough, because it can happen fast. If you've enjoyed this video, please jump over into our Facebook community, because I think the one missing piece that you might be wanting to know more about, it's like, okay, well, we're working hard. Are we working hard in the right direction? Because there's two ways. Like you can be driving one tunnel towards a goal, or you could go to 5 different tunnels at the same time. And that's what we do over in the UpHex official community. Join us over there. And Edwin, appreciate you, buddy.
You got it, man. Be safe.